Hi guys, for this assignment, what is the relationship between wavelength and frequency? I want you to start off by changing this blank to establish a claim. We went through some of this material in class, so we're gonna make a claim according to these sentence starters. So as wavelength increases, meaning that the wave gets longer, frequency either decreases or increases. And so you're going to make a claim there, and then as the frequency increases, the wavelength either decreases or increases. You're going to change it, and I want you to actually turn your text into a different color. And so here, let me scoot up a little bit. You just are going to pick the text color and choose one of those colors. I don't really care as long as I can see it. Like light yellow is not a go, but some of the other ones are great. So I know that we talked about this, so we're either going to say, I guess it doesn't have to be capitalized, it either increases or decreases according to your own observations. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put a reminder that you're going to choose one of those. Okay, so that's the first step. Then you're going to take screenshots of the simulation actually working, and this is a screenshot from a test that I did earlier. I actually shared this with second period because there's a problem with this particular data set, and that is, voila, whoops, make sure that that's transparent. If you compare what I have set up for my tests from slide to slide, you can see that I actually have a procedural difference, and so I would need to remedy that difference. So I'm going to go back and work in the simulation and kind of walk you through the steps of what you would be doing. So a couple of things that you want to change. One, you can do this manual wave making, but it's a lot harder to get consistent waves. And so I recommend that you use oscillate. Now that's going to start right away, so I can go ahead and pause it if I get kind of annoyed with that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to recommend is that you actually use no end and switch that out for the window. Let's go ahead and take this down to 0.5 on the frequency, and I'm going to hit play. So we have these long wavelengths, low frequency, very big, very long waves, right? Okay, and then I am going to, let's see if I can pause mid-wave. Oh, that's so long, it's going to be hard for me to measure how long that wave is. So I think like even if I were to continue, okay, if I continue, maybe if I double this, I might be able to estimate how long that wavelength is. One thing I'm going to need rulers. So I want to put the rulers on there. So from where this particular wave crosses my baseline and crosses the baseline again here is about 6 centimeters. So I'm going to say it's about roughly 12 centimeters with a frequency of 0.5 hertz. Back in the slideshow, I'm working on changing my trial number 1 to say 0.5 frequency, and the approximate wavelength is 12 centimeters. And I'm actually going to want to take a screenshot of that. So however you do that on your device, go ahead and take a screenshot, and then I'm going to insert that screenshot. It's going to be really big at first, but I'm going to insert that screenshot into the document that I'm working on. So let's see, my screenshots. Usually I go to recent, they're on my desktop, so let me see if I can find desktop for my screenshots at 4:01. I took a screenshot. I have two screens open, so I have to actually know which one to take. Depends on your situation, how you're doing that. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this guy down. I can edit out the things I don't need out of that picture. Don't need all of that. I just need that little portion right there. So that's my trial number 1, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, honestly, what's going to be easy is to copy and paste that slide, and then I'll add on my other screens that way, so I can add in. And I'm going to go back into my simulation here. I'm going to double my frequency so I can gather data on this. Oh, here we go. Almost there. Back down to 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit play again. So I have a change here. I want to make sure that I can measure one wave. So I have it almost exactly at the baseline. There's one full cycle, and I would say that my full wavelength is now right around 6 centimeters. So I'm going to take another screenshot. I'm going to go back into my document. That's my old picture. I'm going to go ahead and insert the one I just took from 402. Shrink that guy down, and I'll just leave it with all the extra on there for now. Put that in the box, and then that I took 1.0 frequency, and now I'm seeing a relationship emerge. When you look at this slide, it's just talking about what data actually is. So I put our data in here to be just to kind of show that consistency, but data can be qualitative or it can be quantitative. Qualitative means like descriptions, illustrations, the pictures, and then quantitative is numerical data. Numerical data we typically put into a table and begin to show the relationship that this data is showing. And then as you can see, qualitative data, you may use just like descriptions, like a lot faster, slower, more or less. Okay, we're looking for actually seeing real live data. So for your trials, you're going to actually need to connect what you're doing in 3 and 4, and you probably want to add on 5, 6, 7, and you're going to answer this bottom section that talks about reasoning. You want to connect evidence to the claim. So originally you had to determine a claim. As frequency increases, wavelength does what? And you should begin to see a relationship emerge as you continue to increase the frequency of the waves, and you will be able to like really actually see what's going on there. So you can kind of get to that part of the reasoning yourself, but you're going to write this out. So you're going to actually replace this part that's in red with your own reason. You really only need to do it on the slides that you're putting data in on. So like you could copy and paste these, and then you can use this space, and you can rework or remove that like little box and put your claim in there as well. So that's how you're going to finish that one. And I hope that's helpful. There's a lot of different tools that are on here, but really the ones that you're going to be using are the frequency, and we want no end, we want it to oscillate, and you want to include the rulers for that particular measurement. And then there are some other things that you can play with just in case you want to get even more scientific with it. All right, thank you. Bye, guys.